Behind me, this is not your average, normal, everyday Land Cruiser 250 series, Prado, whatever you want to call it. This is the Arctic Trucks AT37 conversion on the Land Cruiser. This isn't built for roads, this is built to make its own roads.
So I've kind of already told this story once before, but in 2015, I went to Iceland and I got to travel all around the country and fell in love with all things Arctic trucks. In 2020, I believe, Arctic Trucks North America announced that they were going to start building vehicles in Canada. And with KRAVE being such a Toyota-focused shop, we obviously reached out to them. We love what they've done with the Land Cruisers and the Hilux trucks overseas. And basically, we just wanted to be a part of that whole journey with them. Fast forward a couple of years here, and they released this Arctic Trucks AT37 in the UK. These were developed in the UK for Toyota OEM to be basically a vehicle that has 37-inch tires and meet all DOT standards and compliances. Basically, we got an opportunity to work with Arctic Trucks North America and actually be the only Canadian vendor for these vehicles to be built in Canada. What's significant about that is obviously the great responsibility it takes to meet that OEM standard that Arctic Trucks has put forward in their vehicles, and I'm really, really proud of what we've actually been able to produce.
The basis of the AT37 Land Cruiser, as Vill will explain to you later on, is the 37-inch tires, which are absolutely ridiculous, but also amazing at the same time and completely perfect on this truck. When you're dealing with something like this, these things are doing all kinds of things to make access to areas that you normally can't get to. They're replacing helicopters in the Arctic. People are driving these things around the snow and just wheeling them. But with that, you also need to be able to adequately protect the vehicle to make sure that the paint's safe, you're not gonna get any damage, and it's gonna last a long time. Our team did a full STEK DYNOmatte wrap on this thing to just cover every surface, protect all of that awesome paint that they put onto it. And we also applied our SPS multi-year graphene coating just to make sure that it's ready to stand up to any environmental or elements that it's thrown at in its adventures.
So the base Arctic Truck AT37 build includes the fenders that you see on this vehicle. That's really part of what makes it an Arctic Truck. Arctic Trucks has really worked on making sure that all their trucks are DOT compliant, making sure that there are full coverage of these massive tires on these vehicles. So the fenders is really kind of the basis of it, and then everything else is built around it. So the base package includes the fenders, the suspension componentry to actually stretch the wheelbase and to be able to fit those tires in the amount of space that we have to work with. And then from there, we've upgraded this to be beyond what the base AT37 package is. So that includes the R53 suspension. R53 suspension is, I believe, built in Norway. They're awesome. We've worked with some really, really high-end suspension brands in the past, and these guys have just taken it up another notch. They have slow speed and high speed compression. They also have rebound adjustment on them, and they have really cool orange coils, which makes them just look awesome. And then just the powder coat on the reservoirs and the shock bodies themselves just looks absolutely amazing. So they also drive just as good as they look. Just driving the vehicle over here, I immediately could tell that this thing just feels awesome. From there, we also have the upgraded wheel package on this vehicle. So the standard Arctic Trucks package would come with alloy wheels, and we have opted to go with the dual valve stem forged wheels on this truck with the Arctic Trucks branding stamped onto the sides of the wheels there. Looks absolutely amazing. So basically, we went full out on this truck. The steps on this truck is also an option. So we take the factory steps off and we have the wider Arctic Truck steps on there. Just matches that wheelbase and the width of the fenders a little bit better as well. So for tires, we decided to work with Yokohama. We work really closely with Yokohama in our shop, and we absolutely love their tires. The tires on this truck is the Geolander AT-XD in 37-12-50 R17. This tire is a new tire that was developed to kind of take on that all-season user. This tire it is studdable, so if somebody wants to run it in the off season, they could stud it and run it as a dedicated winter, or they can leave it as it is on this vehicle and run it year round. And they are 3-peak snowflake rated as well.
The crazy thing with these AT37 trucks, it's like a Land Cruiser went to war and won.
Just us, a film crew, 2 Icelandic mechanics and a soldier. An insignificant 9-man blot in the pristine white vastness.
So it's going out into the bush, into the Arctic, wherever the client and the owner of this truck is going to take it, and it's going to see some stuff, right? It's going to be driven through the brush, it's going to be driven through mud, snow, salty highways here in Alberta, whatever. We just wanted to make sure that we had everything done to it possible to protect it. So we went with the full body PPF wrap. We used STEK DYNOmatte. It's a great product, 12-year PPF, self-healing, incredible on its own. And the one thing that we wanted to make sure that we had on top was, you're already this far in, right? Why cheap out on protection? Just go for the full 9 yards. We applied our SPS Graphene multi-year coating on top of that, just to make sure that, you know, it was good for ease of maintenance, washing, cleaning, add some hydrophobicity, UV protection, chemical resistance from the salt on the roads, and give the customer the ability to take this anywhere that they want and know that they won't have to worry about the vehicle because it's fully protected.
When working on a project like this, before you even start the PPF or start to think about cutting out your kit, you need to make sure that every single trim piece is perfectly clean and there's no dust or debris behind there. Because when you're applying a full matte wrap, you're really gonna see those little specks of dirt and dust behind the paint protection film, and you don't want that, especially with black. Otherwise, it just shows up as a little white dot behind the wrap, and it's very noticeable. While we're working, we keep the shop as clean as possible. The floor is always immaculate. We don't have the HVAC system going, so there's not dust blowing around the shop. Our team does an amazing job of installing PPF. So as you can see with this AT37 Land Cruiser, it has way bigger flares than normal. We couldn't use cut software kits for the quarter panels or the front fenders. Just because it's custom, we had to do everything by hand. So everything was bulked, and we had to make sure that we tucked all the edges nicely, and we did the best that we could, and it has amazing coverage. So even though we fully protected this vehicle with our STEK PPF, we wanted to give it even more protection with our SPS Graphene Coating. Since it's matte, you can't polish it. You'd have to replace the PPF if there's any permanent etching. So that's why we used our SPS Graphene Coating, so you're not going to have to worry about those issues.
The coating that we used on this Land Cruiser is our SPS Graphene Coating. It's a multi-year coating. We make it here in-house. We battle tested in Alberta. It's a great product. 50 ml bottle, does 2 or 3 vehicles depending on the size. You can apply it to any exterior substrate. Doesn't matter if it's paint, if it's wrapped, if you want to put on your trim, your glass, wheels, whatever, it'll work. It's a great product. We've done all the R&D here in Calgary, Alberta. We have the saltiest winter roads and just, absolutely abused coatings here. We find that a lot of them fail, and this is battle tested to go the distance. If you want to protect your vehicle with the same product that we used on this AT37 Land Cruiser, head to our website, surfaceprotectivesolutions.com. You can get it there. If you want it done professionally, you can either come to us if you're lucky enough to be in Calgary, Alberta, but if not, we've got 800 installers in 43 different countries around the world. We're happy to pair you up with one of them, and we are confident that they will get you the results that you're looking for.